Happy Tuesday. We are continuing, actually wrapping up today with the last of our relationship series, Love, Lust, and Laws. And we have a bunch of questions to answer today. Thus, we have the incredible Dr. Leo here with us representing Dr. Leo. Say what's up to the people.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm glad to be back. Glad you guys finally have some more questions for me. You guys been letting me off real easy lately.
They have been laying you off too easy. I agree. What's up, Jay and the Juice? Present. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Jay?
Hey y'all, feel free to have a blast in the chat. What up, V? We here for it all. And listen, we have literally we've had so much conversation these past few. It's been, I think we had 10 sessions. So this might be session number 11, but we've talked about all kind of relationships, mainly romantic relationships, because those, to be frank, are the biggest, learning relationships and things that people strive for in life. And then, of course, we talked about family, the ones we came from, and the ones we're creating. And so it's been quite the journey, y'all. I appreciate you for being here with me. You included, Dr. Leo, for being here to help out, to contribute, and really help people to, um, you know, get their opinions out and ideas out and create some ideas on how to go forward. So I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm just gonna pull up these questions so we get started because we got a whole list today. I try to put them in one place. Um, yeah, tell Ashley to come on. She's not supposed to be late tonight. Let's go. Okay, so question number one, I'm gonna have to give directly to you, Dr. Leo, because and you know what? I didn't realize there were so many men watching and paying attention. So thank you, men, for writing me, for sending in your questions. Um, Hopefully, knowing Dr. Leo was going to be here was helpful, but I was surprised. I was shocked to see that, but I appreciate that because it takes two. We need each other. So let's go. Okay, question number one. How can I get my girl to drop the social standards around Valentine's Day without messing things up for good? I don't want to celebrate this holiday. What is it?
Uh, Excellent question. Uh, my answer is I need you to decide, is it really that big of a deal to you? Sometimes to help each other be happy, we do things, um, just because we care about the person, we love the person. Sometimes my girl, she might watch a football game with me or a basketball game, and she's probably not even interested, but it's the sentimental value that she knows that it's important to me, and that's her way of spending time with me. And I think that's the way you should really try to look at it. Is it really going to hurt you to do it? Is it going to really change your life negatively? Um, and sometimes we just have to make those little sacrifices. Some holidays I'm not excited about either, but you can use that as a chance to break up the monotony and just, do something, special for a day. It's just a day. You don't have to break yourself for it. You know what I mean? You can get creative. And if she's the right partner for you, she's going to appreciate, whatever you guys do together.
I like it. I like it. Jed, somebody he gonna have to get over that shit. He's gonna have to get over that. Clearly, they be creeping though because they never talk to us on here. They just be, maybe they watch later. I don't know. They just send me messages on the side like, "I got a question for Dr. Leo."
Or, excuse me, LadyWake and Jaya, first of all, sometimes I'm in here too, and I don't say anything because a lot of times you may be talking about something that doesn't pertain to me as a man. So I just shut up. I, stick my head in. Okay, I see they're talking about other stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and head out. You know what I mean? But I'm sitting
Okay.
there, just to see what's going on. I'm in there too.
See, I didn't know that. I don't know if people are here unless they say something or like it or something that I can see. I don't know.
Oh,
So
we're here, and y'all be acting the fool when I'm not here. You know what I mean? I already know. I be seeing y'all.
we gotta have this fun. We have
Absolutely, that's what life is about.
to. Speaking of fun, man, shout out to my alma mater,
Oh,
CAU.
I see y'all.
All the fun. Oh, that's the
Yes, I used to love visiting you while you were there.
man.
It was great.
So much fun, and I got a great finance degree. Let's go.
True.
But I appreciate that feedback though, Dr. Leo. Like really, sometimes you just got to go along. It's not that serious, I think, in the grand scheme of things. But like you said, he has to decide for himself whether it's that serious or not, and maybe kind of go with the flow a little more.
Yeah, we have to realize that we do that for each other. A lot of times we think one sided, and we always think we're the only ones doing something for the other person. But when we sit back and think about it, the things they do with us, they might not always enjoy personally. You know
Right,
what I mean? But like I said, it's a sentimental value. It's to show that, hey, this is my way of spending time with you, doing something that you enjoy.
right,
Some things we just have to think more positively about, and just let it roll off the shoulder. We're gonna make this a special day because I know this is what she likes or he likes, and we're gonna have fun.
yeah. I fully agree with that. Just have fun. Just yeah, pick and choose your battles. It's not worth it. That's true. I don't. I mean, to me, if you make something about a social construct, then that's what it's about. But if you make it about just having fun with your partner, or any excuse, like for me, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day either. However, comma, as Ashley would say, I will take any excuse to have a nice dinner and you know, I'm not big on gifts, but I'll take it and be very happy about it. You know what I mean? Like go somewhere. Like why not? It's fun. I like eating. I like going to nice places. I like feeling, special and taken care of. So forget the social construct. I'm just having fun out here. So yeah, I like it a lot, a lot. So hopefully, brother who asked this question, hopefully that helps you out. Of course, you can feel free to double back if you got some other questions or talk to us while we're here. We're here. Feel free. And of course, and another thing also, I don't reveal names, and I make that very clear when people send me questions or come to me with problems. Um, and I bring it to this forum, I don't reveal people's identity because people like their privacy. So that might be another reason they don't comment in the chat while we're in this forum. So just putting it out there. You're safe here. What? Oh, just my main thing is watching Judas and the Black Messiah at the crib this weekend and eating. And I want a new plan. That's what's up. What Herman at? Is he watching? Does he know? I need to text him. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's move on then. Question number two. Maybe we can both try this. We'll see. Okay.
Okay.
This is from a woman. She says, my man isn't aggressive enough for me in bed. How do I tell him without him being mad? We've already argued about it before because he thought I was judging him.
That's a tough one.
It's rough.
It's a tough one because generally we are who we are, right?
Right.
And just like the last question is kind of like, where does that rank in your order of importance? Because you knew that from the first time, number one. So, did how long did you wait to bring it up? And what were the other qualities that kept you around? And yes, it's good to bring it up, the best way you can, but it's also natural for a person to get defensive. Things dealing with your body can be very personal, and very connected to your self-esteem,
Yeah.
especially dealing with your partner and somebody who you want to please. Obviously, um, also though in relationships, any type of relationship, friendship, someone has to take the lead, right? In these situations, these social situations. So I would recommend that you just try to guide him along, and maybe add some other aspects in the bedroom that may encourage him to be the way you would like him to be. And
Yeah.
it's a delicate thing. You have to watch how you word things too when you're talking
Right.
about these sensitive subjects, because you can't come off as upset or disappointed, or that you're putting somebody down, because let's remember, you never know what somebody thinks about you either,
Right.
right? A lot of things we hold on the inside
You don't
for
think
the sake
something.
of another person.
Yeah,
No, this is real.
it
You
is.
know what I mean?
I
Because
remember when you bust out talking about you don't think you're boring. We were
oh,
talking to the other dude. It's like,
I'll tell
yeah,
you what. I'm not lying. You know what I mean? Like, you never know.
yeah,
But that's what I recommend. You try to take that lead. You know what I mean? But just be careful in your wording. Sometimes you have to literally, grab his hand and, push him along, and, give him indication of what makes you, more satisfied or less. And
right,
hopefully he's paying attention to that.
right. I fully agree. Sister's here. Hey, sister. Easy back.
Oh, what's going on, sis?
Ooh, just what he's stuck in his ways now. Well, I wish I had thought in advance to ask how long they've been together and when she started feeling like this, because that would be helpful information. Because obviously there's no indication, but I agree, with everything you've said, and I would add, because I've definitely been in I've been in this situation before where I tried to tell my partner something that I liked that they weren't doing, and weren't interested in either. Like, why? And it was hard because I didn't understand why he took it so personal. I was like, it's not about you, it's about me. Like, I want this specific thing, and I don't understand why you're making it about you. Like, I'm not saying you're inadequate. I'm just saying, can we try this? Because this is what I want. This is what I want to try. And it was hard. It was a tough conversation to have. And I think I'm a very diplomatic person. So I thought I was gentle and everything. Like, read all the communication books. I'm like, I'm doing the most. This is going to work. And it was still very difficult. He did not take it well. But, also a part of it was, I think I didn't fully understand like the masculine point of view. And so some years later, I had a friend tell me one time, like, men really want to please women. Like, he wants to please you, sis. Like, if he feels he can't please you, then it makes him feel bad. Like, he feels insecure. It makes him upset. It makes him feel like he's not good enough, basically. And that's why you get that backlash, and the what looks like anger to you is really just disappointment, is let down, is not anger towards you, is him not feeling adequate. And so that really changed my world. Like, it changed my mindset about men and how they react to things, because all I saw was anger. Like, what? Everything is anger. You don't have any other emotions, do? Everything just looked like anger. And so just learning that from my friend really helped me to address men differently, because now I came from a standpoint of men want to please, even men who aren't my man. Just the masculine wants to please the feminine, and I am the feminine. So this masculine person wants to please me and make me happy. And I'm always coming from a place of love. So I'm always, wanting to do the same. But just that mindset shift was huge for me. And then it allowed me going further to, like you said, take them by the hand and just show them in a gentle way. Hey, I saw this in this movie. This is something I want to try. Like, you really just have to be creative, and experiment with your partner. Don't, instead of just saying you're not aggressive enough or I want you to be more aggressive, just experiment. Hey, let's try this. Let's experiment in this way. I saw this on TV or I read this in a book. I like to try that. And don't do it. Another thing, don't do it while you're in the bed, like while you're in the act of having sex. Don't just pop up like, no, let's do this. You know what I mean? Like, don't interrupt the brother's rhythm to do something that you've never done before, because he gonna have questions. Who else you doing this with? You know what I mean? Like, because I've done that before. It was bad. It was really bad. It was so bad, and I don't know that we ever recovered, honestly, because it was like, where you get that from? Where you know that from? And honestly, I just saw a movie and I was curious. I was like, oh, that looks fun. But it was bad. Dude took it really wrong. So just have this conversation outside of the bedroom and agree to experiment and try something else.
True.
Oh, look at Sosa. If they're willing, watch a favorite movie together and ask that they imitate what they see. I like it. I like it. I think that's a great idea.
Listen, it's
Right, Jeff. It was
yeah,
bad.
it's all about the power of suggestion. But yes, timing is very important. That's very important.
Yeah,
But yeah, the power of suggestion. They may not know what you're up to, and you already know in your head, what you're trying to accomplish. And
right,
sometimes it's just like, hey, I passed this store the other day. I want to go check it out with you,
right.
Friday night and see what's going on in there. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Next thing you know, she done picked out some handcuffs and you know what I mean, all kind of ball gags, and you just like, but hey, she's with you and she's letting you know, this is what I'm interested in.
right, right. I love it. Thank you for that. Thank you for that question. Um, let's move on. Okay, I wasn't even gonna put this in here, but I figured I'll answer all the questions. This person said, they were talking to me, why did you only do one show on lust? I thought you were going to be like Sue and teach us about sex. And I was like, really? So either you trolling or you trying to holler and you don't know how to start a conversation. I don't know what this is about. But maybe you were just trying to provide me some real life feedback. And if that was the case, I appreciate this because I do accept all feedback. And maybe also you misunderstood me when I told my Sue Johansson story. I was not saying that I'm going to be the new, young Sue Johansson and teach you all about sex. I was just saying Sue was an inspiration of mine. And for that particular episode, I was reminded of, my whole experience just watching her growing up. But yeah, I'm not here to teach people about sex. That is completely unnecessary, I think, in this forum. I'm here to teach people about introspection and your own story and your own trauma and how to overcome those things so that you can have great relationships. That's what I'm here for. It is one of my favorite topics, though.
All
This
right.
is true, Jay. This is true. Sex is one of my favorite topics. So that's why I said maybe they misunderstood me. Maybe you did. It's cool. It is one of my favorite topics. And that is something I did say when I used to watch Sue. Like, it's still true. It is one of my favorite topics. And I help people with their sex life on a regular basis. No exaggeration. I do. But not in this forum, on a 101, in a 101.
Yeah.
Overcoming trauma through sex. I'm just saying, don't be kidding. Don't. That's not a joke.
Hey, well, some people's stomach is hurting over here. So, next question.
We can only go so deep with brother here. But I'm just saying,
Appreciate that.
it's a thing. I'm just saying, it shows up. It shows up. But yeah, I'm not Sue Johansson. I'm LadyWake. So let's move on. Okay, question number 4. Sue Johansson, older lady, used to have a show, a sex show.
Is she still alive?
I don't think she's still alive.
She was very, very
She
old.
was old when we were kids, so
Yeah.
well, she looked like she was. See, that's the hard. I don't know.
Yeah. Good point.
Who knows, though? Okay, thanks, Jay, for putting that in the chat. Okay, next question. What about when you give your kids everything more than you ever had, and they get older and don't know anything? What? Wait. You give your kids everything more than you ever had, and they get older and don't do anything with their lives. They've wasted all their potential.
Well, there's nothing you can do about that. And I recommend that you try to do what I have done with my children being close to being adults, and that is come to grips in your mind of the best and worst possible outcome of your children. Um, Once you've done everything you could do, you have to find a way to let that go, because once they become adults, they are their own person 100%, and they may come back around, um, and be the person that you always envisioned them to be, and they may not. Our job, once our children are out the house or adults, is to be there for counsel. If they want to receive the counsel, we give the counsel, and we try to continue to guide them in the right direction. If they don't want it, we leave them alone.
Right.
That's our job. But we have to stop beating ourselves up after we've done the best we could. After we've done the best we could.
I have to completely agree, and I was gonna say especially moms, but I think moms beat themselves up the entire process. It's like from birth until they leave the earth, and it's too much, y'all. It's way too much, and I'm glad this person. Thank you for sending this question in. We talked about this when we had our parent-child portion of the series, just about the expectations we have for our children. Like if you've given your kid everything there is in your mind, it's everything because it's more than what you had when you were young, is what you're saying here. And then they waste their potential. That sounds to me like you had this idea from the start of who your child should be based on what you couldn't do or what you didn't have because they had more. So it's like if you have more or you have these things I wish I had when I was your age, you should have more potential to do whatever. And and I understand why you feel that way. Like I definitely understand where you're coming from, and at the same time, I understand how that can be damaging to your children because you put them on this pedestal and set them up for failure, really, if they don't meet your expectations. And that's hard for you and them. Is really a tough thing to do. So I agree with Dr. Leo in terms of you have to know the worst possible, outcome and accept that and be there, like you said, for counsel after they're out of your house. When they're out of your house, your judgment is as painful as it is when they're in your house, when they're little. So keep that in mind when you judge your children and say stuff like they're wasting their potential. That is painful.
Mm.
And it doesn't make them want to do more. It doesn't make them want to do the things you want them to do or become the person you want them to be. It just makes them kind of ball up in shame
True.
or anger, or whatever their response is to that particular trauma. So
Absolutely. And I think Jessica and Jaya have some great points. Number one, you should parent them based on their personality. That's very
mm,
important. They all need a different part of you. And then Jaya says,
yeah,
she doesn't think you should give a child everything no matter what. And that's really the way I parent. My kids, they see some things in my life and they figure I'm rich, but I don't really give them, every physical, or what do I want to say, superficial thing that I could give them because I want to teach them how to earn, number one. And then number two, teach them that, money, we don't throw away money just because. We don't throw away resources just because. Um, and then also, I want to say that being present is the number one thing you can do as a parent. It's not really about what we give them, physically, outwardly. It's about being there and the child knowing that we're there. And we have to be very observant with children and their personalities and how they take criticism and how they learn. You know what I mean? Um, because that'll tell us more about the child than anything. We can't, like LadyWake is saying, we can't just have this expectation that this is who this child is going to be. They're going to be who they become.
Right.
You know what I mean? And yeah, either we have influence on that or we don't. Some people come around later in life. Some people, have their future set out for them early in life. But we really don't decide that.
Right. That's real. That's real. Look at you, Jessica jumping in with the keys to the kingdom.
Oh man,
Hey, Toy.
Toya JL.
A child would think you're rich just because you got a chain. I make it clear that you don't have anything, little buddy. You're broke, and you got to cry before you walk.
Absolutely.
That's real. You don't have. You're not like Bill Cosby and them. You say no. We're rich. You're not rich,
Exactly. You're poor.
right? You have nothing,
I just saw that episode the other day.
man. Okay, let's see what's next.
Dang.
Come on. I ate my nose back. Okay, next question. Okay, this was another one that I was like, I don't even know if I should answer this, but I decided to answer all the questions, even when people trolling. So this person says, sometimes I think you're a lesbian and sometimes not. I'm confused. And I wanted to say, why you thinking about me at all, stranger? But I digress.
Wow.
And I'll say, it's none of your business. I'm not in a box, but I'm very queer, and you're welcome. And I'm not interested. Okay, moving on. Right, super person. That's why, like, some people just being nosy. That could have been a side question. You didn't need to put that in the question for this. But anyway, next question from a guy. I met a girl who is wife material. How do I let her know I'm serious? How do I let them know I'm that serious about her without popping the question or saying those words?
Well, uh, we're missing a lot of details that could help us because I would like to know if they're actually dating and
Oh, they are. Hold on. Let me go back to his longer message because
okay.
this was the question I put. I was like, so what do you want to know? This
Right.
okay. They are dating.
Hmm.
About 8 months.
Okay.
They're dating. She's everything, all these wonderful things, but he's not sure enough to like get married. Like he don't want to get married, but he does want her to know that he wants her like forever. Like she's gonna be his wife. He knows this. I know she's gonna be my wife. I don't want to say that to her and scare her off or have her start acting differently. So what to do? And that's what I asked him. So what do you want to know? So that's what he says.
Well, it sounds like after 8 months, he doesn't really know her very well. Um, he doesn't know what she thinks about him, is what I'm hearing. and he doesn't know her well enough to know how she's most likely going to react to him communicating this to her. Now, I will say that I don't think there is any reason to communicate any of this by your words, right? Your actions is going to say what you want to say.
Right.
But also, if you think that this is the one, I don't know what you're waiting for. What are you waiting for? If you know right now, then what are you holding yourself up for? If you're that confident, because people say,
Like, what?
"Wow, everybody's in the house."
Right. What?
You know what people say? You're serious until you're married. You're single until you're married,
Right. Right.
right?
Jay, somebody
Build
need
and
to
wait
make
for some.
some.
Absolutely, I agree with Jad. You gotta see people in the good and bad times, and that first 3 months to a year is that honeymoon phase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where everybody, oh, thank you, bro.
Thanks.
Where everybody's feeling good and positive about each other. Um,
Riding that high.
yeah, and then like, do they live with each other? Because that's a big difference too. I'll tell you what.
That's true.
It's easy when you go to your house and she goes to her house every day, and you don't have to deal with each other if you don't feel like it, and you know you. Jan
Right.
says, "Have you seen her with no makeup?" These are all very important things. They're
Very,
very important things. So I'm not confident that he has enough information.
yeah.
Uh,
Like maybe he just doesn't know her that well. That's what it sounds like.
yes, I think what's going on, bro. I think yeah, he should know how she would react. But yeah, I don't see the reason to use these words. When you're ready, if you want to pop the question, then you need to do that. If you're so confident, but at the same time, you need to know how she feels about you to save yourself some heartache, because it sounds like you're a little unsure about what she thinks.
Yeah. Yeah. What up,
What's up,
Joe?
Joe?
Yeah, I think he definitely sounds unsure. And 8 months, I think, is a good amount of time to dig a little deeper. Like you should be comfortable by now digging deeper and really getting to know this person, and figuring out what she really wants, I guess, and what you really, and being open about what you really want. I don't. I don't see the benefit in hiding your real desires at this stage of the game. It seemed like a waste of time. It's like, well, if you really want her to be your wife, like if that's something you want to work towards, what's the problem in telling her that? I don't know.
Right.
Um, I mean, just that that's your desire, not necessarily you gonna be my wife, but I would really, I'm dating with a purpose. I would really like us to work towards marriage. Is that something you're interested in? What does that look like for you? Like talk to each other.
I would. So Shantae,
Talk to each like
everybody,
I don't know.
you know what? I would start asking a bunch of questions if he hasn't already, and I'm surprised she hasn't started with him, and she probably has within the first month or two.
Probably.
But you have to ask these probing questions. Where do you see us in the next 2 to 5 years? You know
Right.
what I mean? Could you see us living together in the future? Do you want kids? Do you want to get married one day? The simple but telling questions, and you have to watch her reaction.
You have to.
You gotta watch their reaction.
Might say keep everything real all the time. That's it. Meet your match. I'm just saying.
You
I
have
think
to
that's the easiest way to do it, honestly.
ask
It
those
really is.
questions.
Be upfront and honest. Um, my friend a little while ago told me fail fast and fail often. You get to the good stuff that way. You get to the truth faster. You get to what works faster. And I'm like, that's so real. That's how I live my whole entire life. I fail all the time, so I could come here and talk to y'all and tell y'all how I did it and got back on my feet. Like that's life. And I think that level of courage is needed in your relationship, especially your romantic relationship. So, dude, talk to
But
her.
Joe, Joe is preaching over here too. Oh, go ahead.
If he hasn't brought it up yet after 8 months and he's scared to mention it, it doesn't sound like he's the only one she's dating.
Listen, y'all preaching tonight. Oh, y'all
That's
preaching.
so funny.
Look, she's gonna find subtle ways to let you know.
Well,
Because let's be real, we all within probably about a year, maybe a little less, we know what we want to do.
yeah,
I would say so.
yeah.
We know what we want to do, and Joe is he's preaching.
I can see that.
Yeah, he
I can see that. That's a
he
good
might.
point.
Yeah, he might just be a candidate. And she's just trying to let
So he
them
might
play
be
it
like,
out.
step up that strongly or not. Like I can
Yeah,
see
yeah. She might
wow.
be the bachelorette. You know what I mean? She's letting them campaign and play it out.
Brother, if you are on here, listening, talk to us if you're willing, or send me a private message. Look, I'm here. I'm waiting. So if you want to put some more context on that question,
Yeah,
'cause she might be feeling him the way he's feeling her. Maybe that's why he's scared to speak on it. Very
thanks.
possible.
Very possible.
Very possible. Which some people are really stupid, like they don't get it.
Yeah, either they don't get it or maybe they don't really say what they want.
Yeah,
Everybody wants to act tough these days. You know what I mean? You want something, you know what you want, but you don't want to speak on it.
people
It,
don't speak up enough.
yeah. So it's a little game people play.
They
Little game.
don't, but they the one who end up losing. Like, okay, you don't speak up, and then somebody else does speak up, and now she's gone. And you never know. Maybe if you had said something, she would have been into that and said, "Okay, cool, let's be exclusive, or let's try, or whatever." I don't know, whatever. But stop being a punk.
Crying.
Women hates me. Men and women. Cut out this stuff, man. Look, say what you need to say.
Y'all acting the fool.
Craziness. Acting tough while crying inside. Exactly.
That's possible.
That's real. That's what they do. Is they're pretty much emotionally slow when it comes to recognizing things like that. I got you. Some people are like don't know when people flirting with them. Some people wait
Oh yeah.
right next to me. Sometimes I'll be
Oh, I've been guilty my entire life.
like, but took her whole shirt off for you. How do you not know she flirting with you? Seriously,
Guilty.
seriously. Like I've been in the store with this dude, Dr. Leo, and a woman is in there just doing the most because she think we together. She don't know we brother and sister, so she's doing the most, trying to get his attention without being, overt about it and offending me, but still being a little asshole because you don't even know, but you over here trying to. Like, did you just touch him? Do you don't know him? And he'll be like, what?
Man,
Being
some,
nice. No, no, dude. She's flirting.
sometimes you're not paying attention. But yeah, Toy, Jessica, a couple people said it happened to them. Joe, I think Shantae said it.
Oh, see,
Um,
a lot of people
yeah,
have experiences.
listen, man, I'll tell y'all what, I don't want to get too far off topic, but man, life is too short to be playing around, man. If you think you got your partner, man, you got to go for it. You know what I mean? You got to let it be known because either you're wasting your time, and you rather know sooner, or, you'll be happy you brought it up.
Exactly. Exactly. Man up. There are no mistakes, only lessons. That's real, Toya. Thank you, Jaya, for moderating and answering questions that we missed here. I appreciate you.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
let's go on to the next question. We be hitting this hour mark quick, man. We got.
real too quick. Everybody too.
Okay, next question. This is another guy. He says, "What do you do when a woman who won't? What do you do with a woman who won't ask for help, but you know she needs it? My mom and my girl never ask for help, and it gets on my nerves."
Oh yeah, I mean that's a common thing because people get used to doing things on their own, and a lot of people are also prideful, or they tried in the past and people would not help them,
Yeah,
and so they became accustomed to doing it on their own and never asking for help. I would say offer it if you see that you think that someone needs help. I would say find your own subtle way to offer it. You know, sometimes you can just do things, or you can just say, "Hey, I want to do this for you." It doesn't have to be a debate or anything like that. They can say yes or no, or like I said, you can just do it.
yeah, yeah. Jay said we shouldn't have to ask. You gotta take control and just do it, depending on what it is. It definitely depends
I
on what
can
it
see that.
is, because I think a lot of women who are used to doing things for themselves want a man to act like that, like what she just said. Just we shouldn't have to ask, just take control and do it. But there's some people you'll do something for them and they'll be mad because you didn't do it how they wanted you to do it, or they're prideful, whatever their reason is.
Absolutely.
Because my immediate reaction was like, "Why are you asking? Just do it." But maybe like you said, they've tried to ask for help before and they didn't get it. So, now they're just accustomed to doing things themselves, and they feel like it's better to just do it than to ask for help. I know I've had that problem a long time, like many years of my life, and I've just only recently been able to knock that wall down and accept help, ask for help. Like, ooh, accepting help was one layer of healing from trauma, but then asking, like, that was like three more layers I had to go through before I got to that point. So I would be patient with them. Like, I would not take anything personal. You say it gets on you. I could see how it could be irritating, but it's not about you. Believe that. Like, it's not that they don't want you to do things for them. I would do things without asking them if it's something simple. And for things that that they're like, testing you about, or they give you pushback, I would say you offer. And when they say no, give them a minute and offer again. Like, I had a person just last weekend, I'm struggling with a baby, trying to take my coat off and baby coat and put down a bag. And I was doing the most. And she was like, "How can I help you?" And she was like, with my friend group, "How can I help you? You want me to do something?" And I was like, "No, I'm good. I got it," just because I'm used to having it. "I'm good. I got it." And 2 minutes later, she was like, "Can I help you with that?" And I was like, "I'm all right." And then finally it clicked, crescendo. "You could use some help, honey. Like, you still trying to take off this coat." And so she asked a third time, "What can I do?" And I was like, "You can hold this baby." And I gave her the baby and got my whole life together, because literally it had nothing to do with her. I think she's great. It's just me remembering that I don't have to do everything myself all the time and practicing that. And that's probably their problem. They don't know.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody about to be bending over backwards, be appreciative. Yeah.
They're saying a lot of good things in the chat. Um, I think I can't scroll down, but yeah.
He needs to just say, "Let me help you," and stand firm on it and just reassure them he understands their independence. I like that approach, Jessica. Um,
Now, I will say sometimes as a man, you just have to kind of bully the little woman and just say, "Hey, this is what I'm doing." Right? Just, scoot over because you got to pay attention to the way she communicates, right? Because we don't always communicate the same, but a lot of times when she's bringing things up, she's bringing it up for a reason. And that will be your cue to step in and say, "You know what? I will take care of that."
right.
You know what I mean? And yes, sometimes you will say no or I got it, but I do agree sometimes you just gotta not take no for an answer. Be like, nah, I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I think 9 times out of 10, she's not gonna stop you when you're insistent. And
yeah,
I'm saying this is your girl, not a stranger. This is your girl.
right. And
You
your
know
mom.
what I mean? And your mom. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? And I think they will appreciate that. But pay attention to the cues when they're talking. They're bringing it up, and it sounds like to you that that's a tough task, for one person. Sometimes you just got to get in there. Do
yeah. I completely agree. If they're bringing it up, they want your help.
I agree.
Sometimes they just want you to listen and not say anything. But if it's something they need to physically do,
Right.
they probably want your
I
help.
agree.
Just about she's too pushy. No, she ain't nobody thinking about COVID over here. No, she was a part of the group. We already got each other's germs, so she was like a friend.
Sounds like
She
a good.
I appreciate her asking because the third time I was like, "You've asked me this 2 times already. I really appreciate you trying again." Because it'd be easy to give up. Like, no, look, I offered. She don't want no help, so because that's irritating after a while. But I was appreciative because I was just in my flow. I wasn't really paying attention. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it was good for me. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
Oh man.
I know, right? Okay, this person says, I have a lot of trauma. Do I need to heal everything before having a good relationship? I don't want to be single forever. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There is no way you can heal everything before you have a good relate. Like that's not even a thing. Healing is a continuous process. So you think you've healed everything, and then a new trigger pops up, and new trauma pops up. This is life, honey. Things happen, and things will continue to happen. So there is no way to be completely healed and rid of anything that has ever traumatized you in life and not have any new trauma, and do all these things before. Like, that's not, it's unrealistic and it's unnecessary. You can have a good relationship and still be in the midst of healing your trauma. I think the difference is because people will always say, you have to heal first before you meet the type of person you want or whatever. And some of that is true, but they don't take into account that the fact that healing is forever. You'll forever be managing yourself so that you don't respond to triggers, so that you don't lash out, you don't, let things bring you down, you don't let old memories resurface. So that's a managing of your trauma that you'll have to do forever. And if you're lucky, you'll get really good at it and what I call fully healed to the point where you don't have to really manage it um, mentally. You don't have to put energy into it. It's kind of an automatic habit, like brushing your teeth in the morning. Like it's a habit because you practiced it so much. And that's what real full healing looks like. But before you get there, if you've gotten to the point where you know your situation, first of all, like you know you need healing, you know why, you know in what areas, and you're actively working on it. Somebody say get a good therapist, that can definitely help. You can definitely be doing all the rituals necessary to improve, boost your personal power. And if you've gotten to the point where you have a set level of personal power that gets you through, you know yourself, then you can date and you can find someone who is wonderful and will take care of you and treat you like the queen king you are. Like your trauma does not make you less of a person. It doesn't make you less dateable. It doesn't make you, less of a husband or wife material. Um, it's just a little. It's just your story. It's the story that's been created, along your journey, and you need to be aware of that. You need to be actively working on that and be able to share that with your partner so they understand what you're going through. And believe me when I say they are also healing from some type of trauma. If they realize it, if they're aware, they're dealing with something too. You're not the only one. So that's another thing. Like people always come to the table thinking they're the only one with these issues. Everybody has issues, honey. Everybody. Their issues might look different than yours, but they still have their own issues. And that doesn't make them less of a person. It doesn't make them, less worthy to date, just like it doesn't make you less worthy to date. Dr. Leo,
Yes.
I can't my face be showing up sexy too. Oh, we're gonna have to invite you on one day.
Yeah.
I can't
So
add people in this forum.
wish. So yeah, I completely agree, and I think see relationships. We have to realize that this is a part of life where we have to let go of self. Right? Relationship is reciprocal, and we're in this for each other. Right? It's not just about us anymore. And with that being said, it's about understanding. Sometimes we have to take a step back, right? When we think something is happening, we have to slow down and say, wait, is this really what I think it is before we react? You know what I mean? Sometimes I might be talking to my girlfriend and I'm like, wait, is she trying to play me right now? Then I'm like, wait a minute, maybe she's not. Let me
Right.
clarify.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because your personal experiences can cause you to think a certain way. And we have to wipe that slate clean. That's the only caveat I would say. To start in a relationship, you have to start over. You can't come in there with negative feelings from past people.
Right.
Trauma is separate, right? But you have to start off in a positive manner. You know what I mean? And coming in with the right mindset that you have something to offer them, they have something to offer you. Communicate constantly. This is what I think is going on. Is this what you see? You know what I mean? And sometimes you might have to mention it briefly. Hey, I've been through some, some crazy stuff. You know, I try not to, take it here or take it there, but please excuse me. You know what I mean? If I do for a moment, I'll bring it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's so real. And that's what I mean by personal power. Like your mindset needs to be in a place where you know you're worthy of love. Like if you don't have that foundation, it's going to be impossible. Like you're not going to be able to make it. You're not going to make it if you don't have that foundation. So you definitely have to have a clean slate going into something, starting over, um, meaning that you let go of all the past stuff and you're looking at this person as the individual that they are and expecting them to look at you as the individual that you are because your trauma doesn't matter. Like it doesn't make you unless you allow it to, unless you set yourself up that way. So you can be, you could have gone through it. In fact, next week, see, this is the perfect time. I have to let y'all know right now, I have been working on a book, okay? And this is the last session of the relationship series, but starting next week, I am going to start sharing with you all pieces of this book, which is called The Self-Mothering Effect, which it talks about healing trauma. And when I tell you, it's some stories in here, y'all, about trauma, things I've experienced, things I've seen, heard, felt, and literally experienced. And sometimes you look at it, and so sometimes I look at it, I read stuff, and I go, "Damn! Like I wrote that. That happened." How do you heal from something that crazy, something that huge? How do you heal from that? How do you go on? How do you feel worthy after that? How do you have successful relationships after that? And so we're going to start chipping away at this idea of dating while healing from trauma. That might be what I call it. Let's look at God. Look, we're gonna chip away at it. So come back, y'all, every Tuesday. I'm gonna move the time up actually to 8 p.m. Because you trying to what? Might try to get out here. I'm gonna move the time up to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I think that'll work better for all of us. So I can be awake and y'all can be awake and help me out here. But come back because we're going to start really talking about how to date while healing from trauma. like real trauma, not healing from, a breakup and, little stuff that everybody kind of goes through, but real trauma that has transformed you as a person and made you, feel unworthy. So this, we're talking about overcoming trauma from narcissistic abuse and childhood, literal trauma, sexual abuse, codependency, all these things, y'all. It's going down. It's going down. And I'm so happy that y'all are here to share in this moment with me. I know you'll do well with change. It's 9 p.m. for y'all, so it's earlier for you people on the East Coast. So 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central Time, okay? Um, Sister, you don't have to be single forever. You don't have to be single past you building a certain level of personal power. Once you get a certain level of personal power and you know who you are and you know where you're heading, have fun, date, be free. It doesn't have to be that serious. Okay. So we'll start talking more about that next week. There is another question, y'all. Sorry, we're at 10 o'clock, but there's one more question and we'll be able to wrap it up. I'll text you. Are you talking to me?
No, talking about Jay.
Oh, you gonna talk about jail? Go text jail, remind her. You ain't having no meal down. Relax. Come on. It's earlier for you so you can take your butt to bed. Okay, last question. I thought this was ridiculous, so I'm gonna just shoot this at Dr. Leo first.
Oh, come on.
I don't want to be mean, but I'm like, really, dude? Okay.
Uh-oh.
This guy says, I stay married for the kids. My kids are most important to me. I'm dating someone, but she doesn't understand or trust me when I tell her I sleep in another room. I'm not involved with my wife, not intimate at all, but there for my kids. How can I get her to understand my devotion is only to my kids?
Oh, that's an easy one. Get a divorce.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Get a divorce, move out, or she moves out.
Punk? Oh,
What? You're not, you're not. Look, a lot of people have been there, but we're not really helping the kids. The kids can tell when you don't get along. Kids know that something weird is going on when you're sleeping in different rooms, when
exactly.
you're arguing, when you're living separately. They're very intelligent little people.
Yes.
Okay? You're not helping you, you're not helping her, you're not helping them. And why should she trust you? And no offense, but you can't have your foot in that house and the other house at the same time.
Right.
It's not possible. So you need to make a decision, is what I would say.
That's what I would say too. And I said punk. I'm not saying you are a punk. I'm saying you're acting like a punk, okay? And that you're afraid to completely leave that life. Like he said, like Dr. Leo said, you have one foot out the door. Dude, make a decision. You got to close one door to open another one. Like, no, no.
Well,
Say
Mike,
they know about that side chick too. The kids know all that. They definitely
Mike
feel
said you can be a great father without being around your wife. Your kids might be happier from that situation.
yeah,
Baby girl needs to move on. Still not going to work. Yeah, somebody's hanging on in there.
yeah,
Somebody's trying to blame it on the kids,
right,
but
right.
they want it all, him or her. Somebody,
Clearly want it all.
somebody's trying to hang in there.
Yeah, and the girlfriend. I mean, because he kept saying how devoted he is to his kids, and it's like, well, in addition to what Dr. Leo already said, in that you're not helping your kids, so your devotion is laid on a false foundation, sir. You're not helping your kids by staying there pretending that you're, like playing house. But also, what you're telling her is that you can never be devoted to her.
Right.
You're only devoted to your kids. So why should she trust you? Why should she stick around? And I really hope she listening. I don't know who she is, but I hope she find this video somehow and hear us say, walk away. No, stop.
Look,
No,
look,
not worth it. You're wasting your time, lady.
look.
And you're wasting her time.
Yeah,
And and we're not trying to be harsh because
no.
I believe you. I honestly, I do believe you, and I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm just being real in that you have to make a decision. You have to man up, as they say, make a decision um, to be the man that you're trying to present yourself as.
Listen, I'll tell you something personal real quick.
Yeah.
If your children and your wife, or hopefully soon to be ex wife, if that's not working out, if they end up in the same town as you got it made. You can see your children all the time, um, assuming, that you guys could at least come together for that part. And some of us don't have it like that. My children are out of state, and I have them certain parts of the year. You know what I mean? You really have to look at the bright side of things. And if the kids can see a happier, healthier you, happier, healthier mom,
Hmm.
everybody can win. But you're
Right.
not going to win doing what you're doing.
That was so much nicer coming from Dr. Leo and right on point. Thank you, Dr. Leo. That is real. You're not going to win doing what you're doing. There is a better way to do it. And as you can see in the comments, they ain't going either. They say, nah, he lying. How about showing them a healthy relationship? That's, I mean, very valid point. Very valid point. You might say join each other, be a happy family.
That's
Man, in
Well, if
real
it works, it'll
life,
work.
right. In real life though,
Jessica
everybody
said,
not have
money
that
don't
life,
lie.
but it could be a really great life. It really could.
Felicia said it can't be trusted.
This fool can't be
Money, money don't lie. Jess, what you talking about?
trusted. Men lie, women lie. Money don't lie. She say fuck them all. She ain't going. You quit. Man, this has been so much fun. That was our last question. We made it through all of them.
Wow, that
Uh.
was really good.
Yes, this has been so much fun. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you for joining us and sticking in here with me since after Thanksgiving is when we started this, right? So,
Uh,
yes, thank you all for being here, for joining in all of these conversations. Thank you, Dr. Leo, for showing up whenever I come chase you down. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Next week, you all come back next Tuesday. We're going to keep it on Tuesdays, but we're going to move it up an hour earlier. I'll send out reminders. Don't worry. Um, we coming back. Look, I know. See, they usually tell me that every week. Wait, we just getting started because I be like, it's been 30 minutes. I'm ready to go to bed. They be like, but we easily went an hour tonight. So just remember, we're going to continue these Tuesdays, but we're definitely going to be an hour earlier so that maybe we can get a few more people incorporated that can't make it this late. And it will help my life as well. So, yeah, we definitely need you, the juice, on the late show.
Felicia said she's seen me hop on here and be silent. Yeah, I'm always around, man.
Oh, you have?
I'm light on my feet, of course.
That's funny, of course. See, I can't see who's here unless you say something.
I,
So,
I pull up.
I see you, Joe. I see. I see. A good old fashioned adult time. I love it. I will text you too. I will send all the reminders. Y'all have this comment section rocking, just cracking me up every week. Though y'all bring it in the comments, so I appreciate that.
That's right, Jay.
And
Jay know what it is.
you know what it is. Somebody else came on here calling you a G, a gangster, or something. What they calling you?
I didn't see that one.
That was earlier.
So, Toya.
Right, so all right, Dr. Leo. This wraps up our relationship series. But next week we are moving into specifically talking about dating while healing from trauma. But Dr. Leo, would you like to say something to wrap us up tonight?
Oh man. Well, for those of you who do have relationships or situations, um, I would just want to say when you communicate, just think Cliff and Claire Huxtable. Smile, soft voice, warm eyes, eye contact. We got to be positive. If you want to make something work, you got to be positive, man.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you. You have to be positive. And the only thing I would add to that is I'll come to the table thinking, what can I give? How can I light my partner up? How
Yeah.
can I make them smile? How can I make them happy? And if that is your set point all the time, like you consciously trying to make them happy, make them smile all the time, I bet they'll do the same for you. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just give it a try. You don't have much to lose. Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Still acting up over there.
They
I've
acting the
been
whole
collecting
entire
data.
fool.
Yeah, I have been collecting data. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy out here. I love it. I love it. Here for it all. But happy Valentine's Day.
Oh,
Yay.
yeah. Happy Valentine's Day.
I hope y'all have a great time. And we'll see you next week. I'll see you next week.
Add value to each other. Absolutely.
Yes, add value to each other. I love it. And I love y'all.
So, peace.
Peace.